Welcome back, everybody, to the grand finale of the CCA League Season 3. I am DRF, joined by Mizuno, and we have one more fantastic match for you all today. It is a Division 2 showdown between the Carne Inksada Fries out of San Diego State University and Old Bay Brigade from the University of Maryland at College Park. Mizuno, this is it, the clash between Old Blood and New Blood.
Exactly. It's a really interesting tale and storyline that has recently developed in the CCA of Season 3. This is a storyline that has started to develop now that there's this kind of old guard that has remained in the league and just had a couple of players rotate in and out of these legacy teams like Carne Inksada Fries or the Night Sharks or UCSD Esports Gold. And then now we have this new up-and-coming newbie team in Old Bay Brigade showing their stuff and making it to grand finals. And folks, we're already jumping into game one Splat Zones on Manta Maria and looking at these comps. Oh my dear lord, we're in for a spicy time. I see that Clash and Nautilus combo. Oh my gosh, DRF.
Yes, it is certainly going to be an interesting start here for these two teams. Strawberry with that Explo gonna have some great reach across both of these zones if they can just hang out in that bunker, and that seems like what they're going to be starting to do here. But on the side of Old Bay Brigade, I mean, it's been Fel on the Nautilus that has just caused havoc throughout all of Division 2. Definitely one of those players that we're going to be watching out for when it comes to those all CCA team nominations.
Agreed, Derev. I know I'm considering Fel for my own nominations as well. But anyways, back to this game here. We have Old Bay Brigade starting off strong, recapturing the zone for the second time here. And again, Fel following up on some crucial picks, like on Turtle King's trip strikes right there. I mean, there are some really good plays that being made by Old Bay Brigade as that clock on the zone is slowly but surely winding down.
Certainly, they just got a solid grip of this zone now, or both of these zones actually, but that's going to be two going down on the side of Old Bay Brigade. This could be an opportunity for the Carne Inksada Fries to start to move in, and that they will. They do neutralize one zone, get the complete flip on one. Now we'll tie up both zones in their favor, so they will get control back, but it seems like it is just temporary as Old Bay Brigade is quickly back in here, and it's the Clash that's gonna come up with a triple here, trying to find some more all the way up in the street. It's Amiya that is causing havoc for the Carne Inksada Fries.
Great plays from Amiya, utilizing their Trizuka there to get that pick on the Octobrush and following up and just being so persistent here. Their positioning here on bunker is absolutely crucial. And here's Amiya slowly winding backwards just a bit to allow some more breathing room. And now the zones are at a 50-50 right now as Carne Inksada Fries are looking to turn it back into their favor.
Oh, and here comes a jump, a great find there by Insano Cat to be able to just camp that bunker and just pop out right at the exact moment that they needed to. And now they're going to pop the Zipcaster as well, able to find a second pick. And now all the way up in the street, trying to return the favor that Amiya had paid them just moments ago. So now it's going to be Carne Inksada Fries that are searching for the lead here.
Pat's play on that Ink Caster was huge because they are they're doing exactly what an Octobrush has to do. Distract, delay, just cause chaos. And they did it from such a good position in bunker. And that has allowed their teammates to keep continuous control of the zone. And all of a sudden the script is flipped. Carne Inksada Fries only has a little bit more to go. Oh, but that snipe from Olivia Jade gets two great picks. That probably just kept them there in the game there, DRF.
It certainly did. Olivia J coming up with a huge double to help their team flip the zones. So now it's going to be Old Bay Brigade back in control, and they are quickly working through this penalty. Manta Maria can just be such a tough map to work your way back into these zones and try to neutralize it. And when you do, you just have to hold on to these zones for dear life, because it can quickly become a little bit of a tug of war. But it is very difficult to get control of both of those zones, and they're going to try to make it as difficult as possible right now for the Carne Inksada Fries, who are able to get the neutral on one zone. And that's going to be a bit of a trade as well. It's a bloodbath around the zones as Old Bay Brigade will get the lead with 3 down.
What some great plays there by Old Bay Brigade there, as they finally allow the clocks to wind down into their favor and securing game number 1 in this best of 9 set. I mean, gosh, both of these teams are doing so many good things right now, with really great, fantastic plays, good team coordination, special synergy with using both the rain and the Booyah Bombs to get back in and completely push back Carne Inksada Fries from the zone. Oh gosh, DRF, we are going to be in for such a good set here.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just looking forward to the rest of the set based on the first one alone. We saw just so much back and forth there between these two teams, and really started to see a couple of big plays from different people there, like dashing on that Octobrush. Did a fantastic job of just really camping that bunker, making it as difficult as possible for University of Maryland College Park to work their way back into zones when they had control. But then on the flip side, we had like Amiya on the Clash Blaster that started to push up into the streets and got like 3 or 4 picks in a row there.
Right, exactly. Both of these teams have really strong playmakers and all-arounders, right? Being able to do various things and fulfill various roles, whether that is special support or getting picks or assists or distractions. I mean, I think that's why both of these teams are able to get to where they here right now, fighting for Division 2 finals and for fighting for our MSI prizes. Again, like just from that first game alone, like I can't even tell you what the next few games are going to even look like, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit hard to gauge. I am kind of looking at this game too. Tower Control Hammerhead. I think this is sort of the wild card of the map list that we have here today. This one can be very snowbally. It's gonna be just very reliant on what happens in this early game between these two, who's gonna get that first control. And I think that's where the winner of that first fight is going to have the upper hand and will most likely get a potentially game-winning push just from that opening.
Right, exactly. And to figure out that volatility here, looking at these comps, I mean, 2 totally different sides of the coin here, with Carne Inksada Fries running an incredibly aggressive frontline composition. And on the other side of the map here, we have Old Bay Brigade running the E-Leader Nautilus combo, but still holding on to that Clash. And oh gosh, DRF, like you foreshadowed, whoever wins that first fight is going to have a really good start to this match. Carne Inksada Fries in a good position here to get that tower moving first.
But Clash Blaster and Tower Control are a dynamic duo, as we're now actually going to be seeing Angry Face, one of the leaders in Division 2 in, I believe, multiple statistical categories, making their way up into this street area. They're now just going to try to camp these ledges, popping out the crab as well. Going to make it very difficult for Old Bay Brigade to drop down and try to catch up with this tower, who has already made its way to the final checkpoint.
Oh, but Old Bay Brigade here, it's a little forgiven because they were able to get the crucial splat onto Carne Inksada's sloshing machine player to prevent that Booyah Bomb from occurring. So that's going to stall it out just a tad. But with this missile pressure and this constant paint pressure that Carne Inksada's has built up right now, this is looking very dangerous as the tower is slowly but surely slipping through the final points there in this path.
Oh, and I think that Booyah Bomb might have just done it, plus the triple ink trick will give them the exact cover they need for the Carne Inksada Fries to secure game number 2 in dominant fashion and tie up this set.
It's literally like you said, DRF, whoever is able to win that first opening neutral situation is going to be able to have really good positioning to take the tower to however far that they can get it to. And with this map mode being specifically so volatile and so unpredictable, you can take it all the way to the other side. And Carne Inksada Fries were able to just fully execute completely a solid push. I mean, there was only a few brief moments where the tower was just paused. Like, I mean, just incredible plays from Carne Inksada Fries here and demonstrating again their experience in the CCA and playing in this league format.
Certainly. And now we're going to start to pivot towards game 3, which again is a little bit of a wild card, but for a slightly different reason. Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard is a fantastic map mode combo that I don't think is, you know, controversial in any way or shape or form, but this is the first time that this map mode has appeared all season long. So these teams they haven't played it in a CCA setting quite yet, and now they're going to play it for the first time in Grand Finals.
Right, exactly. We've had a handful of a few odd maps or so where they just did not have an appearance throughout the regular season and into semifinals. So like you pointed out, I remember staff members trying to put the map list together were like, wait a minute, we haven't used this one. And I agree, this map mode combo isn't as controversial as, say, maybe like TC Hammerhead or like Clam Blitz, Brine Water Springs, or any other, you know, somewhat saucy map mode combinations. But alas, like you rightfully pointed out, these teams haven't officially practiced this map mode combo in the CCA setting. So this might be where it might be a little bit more unpredictable to figure out what team compositions are going to be run here, or how exactly this map mode is going to play out. How saucy are these teams going to get? Are they going to take that top left podium, or are they just going to play it safe and cut through Spinner to get that safe podium that's sitting in pit?
Yeah, and I think this game is really going to come down to those backlines. What everyone's going to ultimately end up bringing out here. You know, this is a really good E-Leader map. I think Rainmaker does make it a little bit more of an even playing field, though, across the different roles, just because the backline doesn't have, you know, quite as much of a overlook about everything that they need, because the Rainmaker is all over the map. So let's take a look at what they bring out, though. As I was sort of anticipating here, Strawberry actually going to come out with the Dynamo, which is something that you hardly see in the first place in Splatoon 3, but Strawberry has really made a name for themselves with this weapon across the past couple of seasons.
Right, exactly. And we no longer see the E-Leader being run on the side of Old Bay Brigade here. So that E-Leader prediction there not following through, which I think is it's an interesting choice, but they're trying to make up for that fact with the other various weapons in the composition here. But alas, looking here, Old Bay Brigade is looking to pick up that Rainmaker first, as they have a 2-down situation against their opponents. And here comes the Trip Stakes making an opening, and that is 3 down on the side of Carne Inksada Fries. And ooh, this is looking like a really interesting position here for Old Bay Brigade to take it to that first podium.
Yeah, and they will get it pretty easily here, maintaining the numbers advantage as well, as Strawberry will find a trade, but nobody's going to be in front of Olivia Jade here. Finally, Dashing going to come in and save the day with a double, and 25 points remaining in the opening minute is a phenomenal push for Old Bay Brigade, and this is going to be quite the mountain that Carne Inksada Fries have to climb for the rest of this match.
Great play by Olivia Jade, grabbing that Rainmaker and recognizing that there was no one in front of them and booking it to get those points, because those points in the opening minute matter so much for Old Bay Brigade here. And now that's going to put Carne Inksada Fries in an awkward situation where they're going to have to make up those points relatively quickly because of, again, how volatile and how back and forth these matches have been. But oh my gosh, the Rainmaker reset occurs, and Carne Inksada Fries has a 3-down situation. Again, just awkward right now for Carne Inksada Fries.
Certainly. It's just, I don't know, something's just not quite gelling with them right now on this particular map mode. Things have just kind of been staggered in a weird way. They just haven't been able to find those team fights. They've been finding themselves isolated a couple of times. And now with 3 minutes to play, they have this what sometimes feels like an insurmountable lead on Rainmaker Sturgeon. They're gonna have to figure out how to navigate that, as they're gonna get wiped out yet again. Disaster for the Carne Inksada Fries, as Old Bay Brigade is gonna look to add onto the lead that they already have.
Right, exactly. And those are some great plays made there by Turtle King and Olivia Jade, basically isolating the members of Carne Inksada Fries as they were, again, just, I keep saying this, but in just awkward spots. And Olivia Jade carrying that Rainmaker just a tap it forward and adding more to the scoreboard here, putting even more immense pressure onto Carne Inksada Fries right now. Just every little bit here onto SDSU is just not what they need right now.
It certainly is not, as they are going to be able to pick up this Rainmaker now and actually get their first points of the game. Not going to be very much, though, as Fell will be shutting down that Rainmaker. Fell with another pick, trying to make it 3, but this Crab Tank's going to be a little bit tricky to shred through. Ultimately going to have to be Turtle King that's going to try to clean this one up, but no, it's Angry Face that's going to get a 2-for-1 there. And Amiya, alas, has to finally clean this one up for the rest of their team. But this Rainmaker continues to be in an awkward position. These sort of 2-for-1s, even though they lost that one there, it still works in their team's favor because they've just been so dominant and just continue to have so much ink on this map in their favor.
Right, exactly. I was going to mention the ink pressure that Old Bay Brigade has is so immense. I mean, just looking here at Strawberry, the Dynamo player completely surrounded by orange. They have nowhere to go. And as a Dynamo player, they need to have that paint and that movement in order to feel comfortable to shift around where they need to be. So again, now they're in a 3-down situation. Carne Inksada Fries and that Reef Slider is not going to go anywhere as Fell on this Nautilus is getting pick after pick and just exerting so much pressure onto Carne Inksada Fries throughout this match.
45 seconds to play. And it's still Old Bay Brigade that maintains the Rainmaker and a majority of this map control, as the Dynamo's not going to be able to get that pick. It's just a unfortunate RNG there, as Amiya is going to continue to keep this pressure up, but no, will ultimately be going down. Angry Face going to try to chase down Turtle King and will find a pick with a beautiful burst bomb there. And alas, this will be an opportunity for Carne Inksada Fries to pick up this Rainmaker, but it looks like they're going to actually stall this one a little bit. They want to make sure that this is actually a smart pickup, but I think with 15 seconds to go, you don't really have much choice.
I really like this Crab Tank that Angry Face here is using for SDSU, getting a crucial pick onto Fell and that Nautilus, signaling to their teammates to come forward because they got this. They wanted to get some kills. Oh, but the Rainmaker is going to go down, and there's the wipeout. Just a little bit too late for Carne Inksada Fries to follow through and have a chance to get back the lead. And with that being said, Old Bay Brigade is going to take that game and make the set 2-1 in their favor.
Wow, what a bounce back performance there from Old Bay Brigade. As game 2, I mean, that was just not even close. Like, Carne Inksada Fries won that battle. They rode that out all the way to a knockout, 100-0. And Old Bay Brigade managed to just recollect themselves there very nicely. Just, took a step back, said, hey, you know what? We know that that's how that map mode goes. Don't sweat it. We're going to go ahead and just continue to play the game that we know. And they delivered there in game number 3. Now take the series lead 2-1.
I think I have to point out here how the synergy that Turtle King and Amiya have on the T-Tech and the Clash. Having that combination plus in game 1 on Splat Zone's Manta Maria, they work really well off of each other, surprisingly. And I see multiple points during that match where they were able to get these key opportunities where they were able to isolate or take advantage of Carne Inksada Fries' poor positioning or awkward staggered respawns, are able to get some good kills or good assists in. And I think if Carne Inksada Fries want to have a chance to bounce back in this set and still keep toe-to-toe with their opponent here in Old Bay Brigade, I think they're going to have to find some ways to tackle Amiya and Turtle King's combination and synergy and try to cancel it out as much as possible.
Certainly, and I do want to shout out here that Amiya does lead their team in average assists. Definitely, I think that kind of makes sense with that Clash Blaster that we've been seeing time and time again. So I think that will be a focal point here, as well as trying to enable Angry Face to be the best player that they can be, because they lead their division in multiple categories, like I believe paint and specials and KAD ratio by far, actually. So they need to figure out a way to get Angry Face back into this game here and to get them into the positions that allow them to pursue the greatness that we've known them for so far this season.
Right, exactly. And with the start of this match here, Carne Inksada Fries looking to make some ground here, enabling some of these players to do something with that crab tank. But again, kind of in an awkward spot where the crab tank isn't able to fully be able to utilize their positioning and that pressure. And this is just a very interesting neutral in mid right now because not much is just happening except Carne Inksada Fries is slowly being stiff-armed out of mid, and it's just Angry Face here on that splash, slowly retreating back to their basket and preparing for a push from Old Bay Brigade.
So here's the first power climb. They do have 10 more to their name, but Strawberry doing a fantastic job here of just holding them back, and this will be a one and done push. An excellent defensive effort there by the Carne Inksada Fries. They only got one kill there, but the pressure alone was enough to send Old Bay Brigade reeling back down the ramp and off of the platform, and now they're gonna have to try to get their plans together once again for another push. They still maintain a lot of center control, so that's very possible.
Right, exactly. I think Carne Inksada Fries got a little bit lucky there too because Old Bay Brigade, I think, was a little hasty with their push because they were only having maybe a handful of specials to work with, and that's not very sustainable for a Clan Blitz push on this map mode combo. Oh, but oh, DRF, this is the moment for Carne Inksada Fries. They have a 3-down situation. It's just Olivia Jade on that blob holding them back, and now we see a lot more pink on the field, and this is and right as I say that, the script flips right as I say that, and now all of a sudden Carne Inksada Fries is down, staggered respawns yet again, and that green has slowly returned back onto mid.
Certainly, as this continues to be a back and forth game between these two teams. Although it seems like Old Bay Brigade does a lot of times retain this favor, but honestly, they're just kind of trading doubles and triples back and forth right now. So I think it's really going to be whoever gets that first clean wipeout is going to be able to get a push that is much more sustainable. Old Bay Brigade, of course, has the lead right now, but I don't think that's going to stand by any means.
Right, exactly. But oh, I just saw dashing there and that T-Tech go down to a crab tank from Old Bay Brigade, which was a really great play there. And you see Amiya down there trying to put some pressure on that ledge. I mean, I just feel like Old Bay Brigade is just able to find ways just to push back just a tad bit more than Carne Inksada Fries. But this may be the opportunity here is to go down on both sides. I keep saying that, but it's just, again, this back and forth constant tug of war. Neither team is really giving in at this point.
And I think that's part of the beauty of Clan Blitz on Museum. It's basically a much friendlier version of mincemeat clams, where it's so difficult to get to that basket, but it's still doable. I mean, you have a couple of direct avenues there, but it does take quite a bit of special coordination and a few picks on your side to be able to get there, unless you can get one very sneaky play, but even then, that's very, very tough and something that no team tends to rely on here.
Right, exactly. And Old Bay Brigade here is kind of looking for that opportunity there, trying to use that trip strikes to make some room because they have 2 balls in their hands, 40 potential points that they can put on the board, but they are not finding those open windows of opportunity to sneak those in because Carne Inksada Fries, they're able to hold on just a bit longer that they need to, just a bit more than they need to. Oh, but this might be the situation that Old Bay Brigade needs because now they have a 3-down situation with just the machine left alive, just being able to hold on, and there goes the basket.
But they only got 1 power clam in. The second just fell shy. And that's going to be a missed opportunity. But wait, no, someone's under the basket and they got it in. It's Amiya coming in clutch here to bring this score down to 47 remaining with 30 seconds to go. And that very well could be a game-winning push now.
Amiya with the very sneaky, stealthy play there, and I swear this happens all the time in CCA. Here comes Amiya again on that Clash Blaster alongside with Fel. They are looking to put some more pressure on this basket with the final seconds remaining because Carne Inksada Fries, they only have Pity and a handful of clams that need to work with at this moment as we are heading into overtime.
Fel very smartly gonna get rid of that power climb. You don't need it at this stage. At this point, you need defense. And that's exactly what they're gonna do as a team effort here. And the jumps are coming in. And this game is effectively over as Dashing's the only one that's coming out of spawn. It's not enough time to get to the power climb. They're just gonna go ahead and jump out, call this one quits, and recollect themselves for the next game.
Oh, God. The Old Bay Brigade really played those last 30 seconds very well. I really liked a lot of their decision making and some of those shot calls, and I think a lot of that has to do with Fel's own experience and competitive Splatoon as a whole. Wisely pointing out that they dropped the ball, they didn't need that anymore as they headed into overtime. Being able to stay back and recognize that the members of Carne Inksada Fries are going to be desperate, and you just have to let them come to you at the end of the day, right? You don't have to, you don't have to go to them at all. So great plays and great decision-making skills on the side of Old Bay Brigade that I'm really admiring. And this game is just way too good to hear. Like I could go on and on.
Oh, certainly. It's even though the favor is starting to skew a little bit towards Old Bay Brigade's favor, I think that there is still room for Carne Inksada Fries to make the comeback here. They've been in every single one of these games, although Old Bay Brigade looked a little bit more dominant there in Game 4 than they had in the previous 3 games. So now with Splat Zone's Flounder Heights on deck, the Carne Inksada Fries need to figure out what worked for them in Game 2 that they can now try to bring back and leverage against the Old Bay Brigade, especially because they've been so reliant on this Clash Nautilus combo. How do you counter something like that?
Right, exactly. And it's a really difficult combination synergy pair to break, and it depends on what type of compositions that they do and kind of those shot calling and communication skills to recognize that, hey, we need to get rid of them straight up. Like, we need to we cannot have them be enabled during this match. And that can be possibly reflected by some of their choices here in their comps. Strawberry back on the Dynamo, hoping to exert some of that paint pressure. Dashing on the Octobrush, which I really like, bringing that back from Splat Zone's Manta Maria. I'm hoping this might be the perfect combo that they are looking for to help address that situation.
And I do like InsanoCat switching over to this machine. I think that's going to work very well for them, as we do see the machine's exact purpose being put to use there. Getting a nice shot off of the many, many ledges that exist in this map. And now it's going to be the Carne Inksada Fries that get first control of the zone. And they're going to just start to push up here, try to maintain pressure and make it difficult for Old Bay Brigade to get back into this first zone. And they're doing that very well right now. This tripling strike is going to cause the neutral for now, but it's still a very even situation numbers-wise.
Right, 2 down on both sides, but still Carne Inksada Fries just has a slight number advantage here. Never mind, right as I say that, great kill from Fel here, as finally the tables have been flipped, and now it's Old Bay Brigade storming in onto the zone and putting some points onto the board here. We see Dashing here on this Octobrush, looking to find some of those windows of opportunity to come in and disrupt, but not quite finding anything just yet.
Not yet, but trying to zigzag back and forth here. Gonna get punished, just a little bit too much movement that wasn't quite necessary there. And now Carne Inksada Fries are being punished for it, as Old Bay Brigade will find themselves back in control and hunting for the early lead. It's still a very low scoring game, but Old Bay Brigade is going to try to find an opportunity here to really open this game up in their favor.
Right, exactly. And Old Bay Brigade are doing some really good things right now with some of their positioning and finding ways to stiff arm Carne Inksada Fries from coming any further. However, Carne Inksada Fries has 2 specials online. Here comes the Trip Strikes, and here comes the Booyah, here comes the Crab Tank. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink onto Old Bay Brigade in hopes of turning back the zone. But alas, Old Bay Brigade is still holding strong here with some crucial picks here, and the zones are just not quite flipping into Carne Inksada Fries' favor right now.
No, they are not in the slightest, as finally they're able to find 2 picks there. Carne Inksada Fries spent a lot of time just trying to get back into these zones will finally get this opportunity and now need to find a way to hold this position because Old Bay Brigade, they're already set up in their attic to try to defend their own zone and just try to stretch out Carne Inksada's rise push as much as possible.
Right, exactly. I am liking Carne Inksada's position right now. They're trying to hold this really aggressive front here on Old Bay Brigade's side of the zone here. And I really like Strawberry here, just constantly chucking out paint. Here, oh my gosh, here comes Amiya here with the trip strike. Oh, but Strawberry is able to shut that down. That was a huge play from Strawberry on the Dynamo to awkwardly maneuver that and get out of that situation and punish Amiya from getting too aggressive. And oh man, Carne Inksada Fries, the clock is slowly winding down and they are looking to take back the lead here, DRF.
Oh, but the Clash Blaster has just the perfect range there on the splash and to get that pick. And now it's the Carne Inksada Fries with the 9 points of the lead. It's a tied game in terms of the numbers advantage on either side, but it will be Old Bay Brigade that finds the control of the zone once again. And they are going to breathe just a very quick sigh of relief here as they're now going to have to start pushing up to hold on to these zones with a minute to play and the numbers advantage in their favor 2-1.
Right, exactly. Here comes the Booyah here from the sloshing machine on the side of Carne Inksada Fries in hopes of delaying the zones to allow their teammates the opportunity to get back in. I'm assuming that was the play there. The zones are just not quite flipping in their favor though, but they do have a slight, I was just about to say they have the numbers advantage, but not quite as one of the members fall to a very unfortunate spot bomb here. And here comes Old Bay Brigade here, looking to secure the zone just a tad bit longer.
Oh, and with 30 seconds to go, it's just a big effort here from Carne Inksada Fries as they're trying to hold on to these zones, get it back in their favor. They finally do, but only temporarily, as now with 15 seconds to go, they have the numbers advantage. They just need to hold on. They're going to start bringing out some of these specials, but they need to quickly get some more online. The crab tank is almost up, and the tactical are almost up as well. But I think there might be somebody actually coming in from behind them. It's going to be the Turtle King on the T-Tech, and they're going to be trying to contest this zone. It's a 3v1 now, and it's going to be Old Bay Brigade that puts themselves at match point.
Oh my gosh, what a game from both of these teams. Carne Inksada Fries on the fight of their lives there for control of the zone. They were doing everything and more and prioritizing and getting the zone back, including sacrificing specials at inopportune moments. That way they could have the zone back for just a tad bit longer. But Old Bay Brigade is able to recognize that and continuously punish Carne Inksada Fries for over prioritizing the zone, in my personal opinion. And just the way that they were able to essentially punish Carne Inksada Fries from prioritizing objective a bit too much rather than trying to settle back in and regroup and recollect themselves. I mean, wow, that was just such a complex game from both of these teams. I mean, I can't wait to see the stats for some of these, honestly. I can't imagine the paint output that Strawberry had during that match.
Certainly. Now it's Old Bay Brigade that does sit at match point. They continue their stretch of dominance here since week 1, dropping the set against Ohio State 3-4, made a key addition to their roster, and have since been just running away with Division 2, losing a grand total of 2 games up to this point. Once to UT Dallas and once right now in grand finals against the Carne Inksada Fries in game 2. But Old Bay Brigade really just hasn't looked back. They've just continued to put their best foot forward, and nobody has had quite the answer to them yet. I mean, Carne Inksada Fries, it seemed like they might have in the early stretch of this series, but now it's just, we're kind of scratching our heads a little bit. How can Carne Inksada Fries get themselves back into the set?
I think they might have to return back to some of their old compositions when they were just a tad bit more aggressive here. I'm not sure about the Dynamo picks from earlier. That might have slowed things down a bit, but I think that might be one contributor. Possibly, again, some of that decision making that they were where whenever they're down for the count and trying to find ways to regroup and recollect here. Nonetheless, we're now on to TC Inkbot Art Academy. Just a handful of adjustments on both teams as we are heading into this first neutral fight of this map mode combo.
Oh, but look at this. It's a 3-down situation on the side of Old Bay Brigade. And nobody's gonna get on this tower though. What is everybody doing? You start pushing the objective and they're gonna quickly get punished, and that's the wipeout. I really don't like to say that teams have had missed opportunities, but that really felt like one.
Agreed. I think part of it was that Strawberry was holding on to those missiles there. I'm not quite sure what happened there because I think they were trying to hop onto the tower, but they weren't quite looking at what was in front of them because I don't think there was enough paint for them to slide up onto the tower. So I think there was some just mechanical confusion there. Nonetheless, though, Old Bay Brigade actually reaching and surpassing that first checkpoint here. A really good start, but looks like they were able to be pulled back. Oh my gosh, what a Trizuka there from Amiya. My goodness. I was about to say, Carne and Inksada are able to delay that push a bit, but now they're in this awkward 3-down situation with just dashing left on that Octobrush, forcing themselves to retreat here.
Now they have the numbers advantage in their favor. Olivia Jade with that Blob Lover, fantastic weapon to have in this exact position here as they find 3 down onto Carne Inksada Fries. And now they're going to be able to clear this second checkpoint halfway to a knockout and a possible Division 2 championship. Continuing to stagger the members of the Carne Inksada Fries. 20 points remaining, and now this is Carne Inksada Fries' last stand. 10 points now. Will they be able to stop it in time? It looks like they'll be able to pause it just a little bit, but no, it's gonna be 3 down on the side of the Carne Inksada Fries, and Old Bay Brigade will be your Division 2 champions.
What? That tower just did not stop during that push. I mean, the moment that Carne Inksada Fries popped that crab tank and the crab tank went down from the Old Bay Brigade, it was over. What a fantastic series of events here. You see here, I think it looks like someone dodged, whoever was on Turtle King dodged the suction bomb that was on the tower just because of that pole and those awkward mechanics there. Oh my, and that allowed them to continue to shove that tower to that final check there. I mean, just wow. I'm speechless. I'm finally speechless after this entire set. Wow. I'm just stunned.
Honestly, same. I came into this set thinking that this was going to be very closely contested. I think there was some games there where it certainly was, but this was certainly Old Bay Brigade's set to lose once we got into game 3. It was no longer, the closely contested set that we thought it was. Old Bay Brigade figured out how to work around this Carne Inksada Fries team and just executed perfectly. So kudos to Old Bay Brigade. They are going to be your Division 2 champions. They will run away here with our MSI sponsored prizing. They're going to be walking out of here with an Optics E2 monitor.
Right, and the spoils to the victor, as they say. But of course, I mean, credit where credit is due. Carne Inksada Fries are a legacy team of the CCA and have been here for the longest of times and has continuously shown their support and have been active members of our collegiate community in the past several years of the CCA being as an active Splatoon community. They, time and time again, they demonstrate themselves as an upstanding team, both on and off the field, as they say. So, of course, to our good friends at SDSU, that was a fantastic display, and I'm so excited for what they're going to bring for us in the next season of the CCA League.
Oh, certainly. I am right there with you. I do have a soft spot in my heart for the Carne Inksada Fries, being UCSD's friendly neighbor. They've come a long way in the CCA just in general. Division B is what it was back in Season 1, the equivalent of Division 2. I believe, ended up being our 4th place finisher back then, but that was they were still trying to figure things out a little bit. They put together some fantastic games back then, and I think really went toe to toe with Michigan State. And then in Season 2, falling just shy of the playoffs, and now being in the grand finals. I do want to give Carne Inksada Fries their flowers here because they have continued to improve and impress every single step of the way, and I really do believe that this is one of the best programs that you could be a part of in collegiate Splatoon.
Right, it's that continuous improvement and strive to be better and to continue to improve and find new ways to develop and grow. And I think that storyline that you outlined incredibly well there, DRF, I think really demonstrates, again, Carne Inksada Fries' capabilities as a team and as a program. And this was a great demonstration of that growth and development. And like I said, again, I am so excited to see what they're going to bring to the table next season as coming into 2nd place for Division 2. That's nothing to sneeze at. That is a great demonstration, again, of their strengths as a program and as a long-standing team and collegiate program in our community.
Oh, certainly. But, it's going to be just shy of their goal this time around. But now, the champions, Old Bay Brigade. I believe we actually have a couple of players that are going to be joining us here in just a moment to chat about their Division 2 victory. Let's go ahead and drag them all in here.
Yes, Discord manipulation here. Welcome, Old Bay Brigade. Congratulations, you are our Div 2 Grand Champions of the CCA League. How are you guys feeling right now?
Tired.
Pretty excited. Tired and excited.
I feel good. Hell yeah.
Definitely a mix of swelled emotions here is what I'm gathering. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Well, I mean, it is almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so understandably so. Well, first of all, congratulations on winning Division 2 champions. You are all going to be receiving a monitor courtesy of MSI. How does that feel? You're winning a monitor by playing Splatoon.
Dude, I needed a monitor. That's great.
Like, yeah.
My monitor is really old, so it worked out.
I'll just get a dual monitor.
That's cool.
Oh goodness. So the monitors are going to be put to good use then.
For sure.
Yep.
Mostly.
Well, perfect. Well, I think I wanted to talk a little bit about Old Bay Brigade as a program and as a team because, again, this is a relatively new team to our little collegiate community. And I guess my question is, I was wondering a little bit about the origins of this team and this program and where you guys stand at the University of Maryland.
Oh god. So we saw that there was going to be a new season, and so we kind of just decided, or I decided to kind of just rack up a bunch of people who played at UMD, so that's really just how it started off.
Yeah, how'd you find us again? I think I was talking about Splatoon in the Smash Bros Discord, and you were like, oh, Splatoon player.
Yeah.
You recruited me.
Basically, and then everyone just kind of came in one by one. And then the last one was Amia, so...
And it just ended up working. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and speaking of Amia, I wanted to talk to you guys about, I guess, some of your player and team dynamics, because I was noticing throughout the set, you guys have, and this is also displayed by our stats, you guys have really strong team coordination and kind of team synergy. I was noticing multiple times, Amia and Turtle King, you guys pairing up and isolating members of Carne Inksada Fries. Fel, you were teaming up with Amia a little bit in a handful of plays. I guess, how do you guys kind of practice those pairings and your synergy with you and the rest of your teammates?
I have QR and I just hold forward and let everyone else move in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of the work is like Amiya knows exactly what they're doing, and like Fel knows they're both like extremely good players. I'm like the lower rank out of them, but what I like do to pair up is just I see Amiya make stuff happen, like stuff just gets done, and I'm just as long as I'm in position to just get there, and like we're calling each other like, oh, I'm pushing this one's on me, and we just practice a lot like that, and I kind of just like started learning how to position myself between people, and Amiya just is really good at positioning themselves like aggressively, like they know how to get stuff started. Phil just has great mechanics, just always like winning every fight they start. So as long as someone is like there to like pick up on those good starts, then things always get done.
Yeah, and one way or another, we all have our weaknesses, and so we kind of just play off of that, and we try to support each other. So
Awesome. Well, I also do want to touch on this just a little bit, because week 1, you all lost to Ohio State 3-4, and then Amiya joins the team, and you all just become dominant. Like, probably one of the most dominant runs that we have seen in a week 2 to grand final span. Can you speak a little bit about the impact that Amiya had by joining the team?
well, Amiya is just in general like an amazing player. So just to have her on this team, both mechanical skill and game awareness wise, was like really helpful for us. But as well, like when we played against Ohio State, it was like our 3rd time playing with them or together. So we didn't really settle on like team compositions and stuff. And then we decided that once Amiya joined, that we would actually scrim and we'd actually practice.
Man, that's wonderful. And I guess talking a little bit to your point about practicing and playing together more as a team and preparing for these weekly matches, what were some of your practices or kind of strategy sessions like when you guys came together to practice and play and prepare for CCA League matches?
Do any of you guys want to answer? I actually don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like we just did like we pretty much did like a scrim or 2 a week, and then every time we had just like problems in our games, we just talked a lot like between games, like all right, what went wrong, whose weaknesses do we need to like cover for. I think a lot of stuff was like people were like, I need more paint, or I need more this to like fulfill my function. Like everyone kind of has like that role they want to fulfill, and as long as the other team members are like enabling and covering for those roles, or like making sure to like tell each other in the middle of the game, hey, remember, like this is how we should shot call, this is how we should don't feed, just like standard like coordination stuff. It helped a lot to like just get things figured out in practice. And even when we were winning, like we were just talking about like, we're winning this scrim, but like it would be even better if like you would tell me when you pushed at this point, or if you would hit ouch when you die. So just so people help with awareness.
Yeah, I think with our comp especially, we don't have too much paint because we're running like Clash not. So I think having Turtle pivot to more painting helped us a lot.
Certainly. I mean, you all had like probably one of the most unconventional comps that we've seen in the CCA, and I mean, this is the CCA where unconventional comps are king. Every team has something sort of weird, and we don't quite see the meta thrive in the same way. So that Nautilus Clash has proven to just be a dynamic duo all season long. Is that something that you sort of developed through the season, or is that just, hey, everyone play whatever weapon they're most comfortable with and it just conveniently worked together?
Well, actually, yeah, we had to change up our comp at the start because, like, I know Amiya plays Charger. I actually play more ballpoint or heavy, and so in the end, we actually did have 3 backlines. So
Oh yeah, Cho
kinda-
also plays.
yeah.
Our
So we had
bot
a-
player.
Yeah. So we in the end just had to change our composition, but then like we were really strong with it, so we decided to stick with it.
I wanted to
Yeah,
play
I mean,
Clash
you-
though, that worked out.
Yeah, you've been playing Clash since like Splatoon 2, right? Like, didn't you like grind up
Yeah.
with that? Exactly.
Yo,
You have a
wait,
lot of
yeah,
skills to get out there.
You were a top 500 Clash for like 10 minutes,
like-
right?
Let's go.
I mean, that's a crown of achievement that I would not be able to wave around. So credits to Amiya there for 10 minutes of fame there for top 500. Round of applause for Amiya there.
Woo!
Oh Oh man. And the another one more question I also wanted to tag on here is at what point during the season did you all realize that this Division 2 championship was within reach for you all?
At the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So
like
that
after, like-
loss to OSU did not waver you at all.
No, definitely not.
I don't know. I just feel like we got like such good players on the team, and I'm just like, you know what? They can, as long as I'm not getting in their way, right? As long as I'm helping them out. Once we got like the second 4-0, I was like, all right. I think we got some good synergy going.
So
And
did
the
you feel
pieces just fell
undefeated?
together.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're definitely a bit shaky for the SDSU match, but like I think we just pulled ourselves together. We just adapted to what they had, and so yeah.
Mm. Actually, talking a little bit about SDSU here. Earlier in the stream, we pointed out that this is a interesting matchup between kind of the old versus the new guard. If you're not aware, SDSU is kind of one of our legacy teams and has been around the CCA community since near foundations practically. They've participated in multiple leagues and seasons, tournaments, etc. I guess preparing for this match and preparing for finals against kind of the old guard type of situation. Did you guys have any specific points that you were looking over? Were you guys checking stats, or how did you kind of prepare for a best of 9 set against a legacy team like SDSU?
Well, we do schedule weekly scrims, but like today we kind of just did a scrim before fighting SDSU, so that was kind of our warm up. But other than that, we kind of just play how we want to.
Oh, you do so much research on other teams, like.
That's true.
See,
No, I
that's what
do
I was
do
trying
that.
to poke out. That's what I was trying to draw out of you guys. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
like,
Thank you,
before
Turtle
every set, like I'm just here, like I'm not super. I'm kind of new to the Splatoon competitive stuff. They definitely have more experience, but Fel will like be like, "Yo, this is the problem players on the enemy team. Here's some problem weapons on the enemy team. Like stuff to look out for," and it just gives us all an idea on like what to look for when we're getting to the next set.
We were keeping an eye out for the splash, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, at least for me, that is all of the questions that I had. Mizuno, did you have anything else to add?
No, I think the only thing left to say is that, I mean, you guys have the floor, you have the mics, you have the attention of God knows how many viewers on the CCA stream here. Is there anything you'd like to say to the crowd, to anyone watching?
Well, thank you to the staff for hosting this. Like, we couldn't have done this without you guys.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
I
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, I just think, yeah, a lot of fun. Like this collegiate thing, like first time being like a collegiate thing with competitive games, so it's super fun. And like, thanks for hosting, thanks for all the games, and everyone just like being able to play Splatoon with like a comp team is a lot more fun.
It is always the best discovery. So real quick before you all go, by chance, are you supported by your university and/or esports program on campus?
Unfortunately, we're not.
No.
They don't have a
Boo.
Splatoon channel in the official esports Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like League and Overwatch and stuff like that, but nothing Splatoon.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing is not yet.
We're
So
trying.
We're trying. We're trying.
now you all have a very good case to go out there and say, hey, University of Maryland at College Park, you have a championship Splatoon team on your hands now, and there should be a little bit of support coming our way.
Agreed.
Hope.
Well, thank you all once again. Go and celebrate as a team, and we will get you your monitor prizing to you as soon as we can. So, congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will celebrate by studying for an exam. I'll see- yeah, that's how
yes,
it
the
is. That's
duality.
how it is. But yeah,
Take
I mean,
care,
this was a great
folks.
break. This was fun. So thank you.
Of course. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Well,
Adios.
Bye, guys.
that was the Old Bay Brigade team joining us there for a championship interview. So congratulations to them once again. So that is our match here to Division 2 Grand Finals. Old Bay Brigade takes that 5-1. But that is certainly not it. Let's go ahead and take ourselves over to a live look-in at Splatoon tourney, where the Division 5 Grand Finals are still underway, and Bradley University is on the cusp of a championship.
This is not that same stalemate, no pop game. You know, we're halfway through this now. Shink's even trying to push it even more, but finally going down. Coastal Squid Surge needs to find the ink and the space to get back into this, and they've got to find the clams. But Liz, there, sharking in the ink, going back up, getting another pick. And oh my god, that's a triple there, creating so much more space. Now just left with Peachy up. Peachy gonna be forced to back off. The Expo looks like it took the greats to try to get the flank in. Jer now behind. I don't think they know Jer is there, gonna be able to follow it up. And they try to bomb Jer out, but Jer able to avoid it. Liz going in with these few extra clams, gonna see if they can keep that basket open a little bit longer. It's pushed to 7. So they need to find 3 more clams to take the win, but it looks like that is where that push is gonna come to an end. And now you have a 100-7 game, Soft. This could not be more different than what we saw at Clams Museum. And Liz already set up to make another push there. They try to get those picks that they have been game after game, but unfortunately go down there. Liz just again making these plays of the game, Staff. I am just utterly speechless.
Yeah, and as right now, Toma, this could be Coastal Squid Surge's time to get back into this game right now. I mean, the clam economy is in their favor, but once again, you have Liz coming in with the flank, getting one pick, a crucial pick at that, with the ball holder going down. Peachy being the only one left alive once again, forced to jump out. Jair coming in with that power clam. Follow-up coming in from the mates of Bradley. Right now, they were able to get one, and you have Oven trying to look for the pick. They're able to get one. Chip damage on another, able to get 2, but the wipeout happens on Bradley. They were only able to get 1 more point down on that board. 45 seconds left to go, with Coastal Squid Surge needing to get some points onto this board right now. Toma needing to break this basket, but once again, you have Liz coming in with the flank, getting amazing double pick, taking the distraction away. Shink's able to go in and break that basket. Toma, I feel like we were watching an idea of X Chai versus Liz and Shinks for these aggressive weapons being played out in this mid area, but once again, Bradley able to find success in breaking into that basket area time and time again. Bradley is the Division 5 champions here for the CCA this time.
Saf, that was the Liz show going on there. That all eyes on Liz. That entire match, just time after time after time, breaking in. Even, you know, you saw the Stamp getting some picks, and then Liz just following up excellently with there. And you see it just, they don't know that Liz is coming from behind. Every single time Liz going into that drop, Shinks finding the way forward off of Liz's picks, able to get the KO there. Saf, what incredible team synergy there. What incredible patience from Liz to know exactly saying, hey, like, I'm gonna wait here in this corner in this drop, and once they're forward, once I can kind of get behind them and I can get that poke onto them, that's when we're gonna rush it in. That's when we're gonna get these scores going. And we saw so many great moments, especially up there in the basket, where Liz was pulling attention away towards those greats, towards the right hand side, and that allowed Jer and the other members of Bradley's to continue that push, to continue to get some more clams, and while the other members were trying to take Liz down. And that there is just how you continue to get that score pumped up and up and up, even though they didn't necessarily have a whole lot of clams in their possession as soon as that basket broke.
Absolutely. And one other thing too I want to point out, it's like you said, Liz was in a 1 versus 3 situation for at least 10 seconds. And that is a long time to survive in a 1 versus 3 situation. They completely took the attention away from the basket to give Bradley enough opportunity to just throw more clams in and just extend that lead. so far. Well played by Bradley and well played by Coastal Squid Surge as well. Vapor, do you have any thoughts on what we were just watching? I mean, it's like Toma said, the Liz show.
Yeah, if you want a highlight reel, Liz made one for you just with this set alone. Like, Liz popped off. Liz was the game maker for, not even game maker, but set maker for Bradley in this time. They're leading you all the way up. Take that championship. Here you go. Like, life could Bradley dream. That they drove all the way through the season. They went 5-0 out of groups, and they took that momentum. They took it through playoffs. They're able to get the win here in finals over Coastal Squid Surge with the 5-3 victory.
Absolutely fantastic set there. But that is going to be closing us off for the night here on Splatoon Tourney. We're going to be introducing ourselves once again. Vapor, where can the great people here on Twitch find you?
You guys can find me over on Twitter and Twitch at V4P0R_SPL. And I've definitely had a wonderful time here tonight. And throughout this whole season, Saf, Toma, you have been amazing commentators here on the Splatoon Tourney, especially throughout the CCA season. Where can the viewers find you guys at?
You can find me on Twitter. That's at Safirea. That's 2 P's, 2 A's, at Safirea on Twitter. Or in just a few weeks, you can find me at Low Tide City hanging out with Toma. But Toma, where can the good people find you around these internet parts?
Absolutely. You can find me at Twitter at CrestofGautier or on here at twitch.tv at twitch.tv/TToma_. And that's going to be wrapping us up for the night here on CCA. Once again, huge thanks to all the CCA staff and teams this season for putting on such a wonderful show. I know that Saf and I absolutely had a blast every single Sunday here, getting to commentate some great matches with some absolutely fantastic teams. But I believe that with this, we're going to be wrapping up, and I believe we're going to be heading over to the CCA channel for a little bit of a season wrap up with DRF and Mizuno, two of the wonderful, amazing CCA staff who've worked so hard to put on a great league for these teams. Vapor, what details do you want to give us for that as we're about to head on over there?
Hey, I know it's been a long season. We have to give props and credit to all the staff members in CCA that has helped us throughout this whole entire season. I don't know much what's going on over there, so you're going to have to stick by and see what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, tonight for tuning into Splatoon Tourney, and stick around for this raid as we head on over to the CCA main channel.
Well, welcome back, everybody. As you just saw, Bradley University's Life Could Bradley Dream are your Division 5 champions after that 5-3 victory over Coastal Squid Surge. So congratulations to them for pulling it off, and that is it. We have crowned 7 champions this weekend, Mizuno.
7 champions have taken the crown, and out of those 7 champions, 4 of them are walking away with prizing from our wonderful sponsor at MSI. The winners from Divisions 1 through 3 will be receiving a super cool monitor that I don't even understand the specs of. It's so cool. And Division 4 winners will be walking away with the Dragon Soul bag. So huge credits to all of these teams who have put on a show for us and was working with us to get all of these streamed matches for this weekend. We greatly appreciated the patience as we try to work with everyone's schedules to get all of these matches streamed, because this is legacy stuff right here. This is going into the record books, and we wanted to have video footage of what has occurred here this past weekend.
Oh, certainly. I mean, this season alone, I did the math last weekend, and I've already forgotten how many matches it was that we've streamed. I believe it was breaking 70 or something along those lines, if I can just get the numbers very, very quickly here, actually. 73 matches through the semifinals. So plus the 3 matches from Div 1 yesterday and 6 other champions on top of 1 third place match. So 83 matches is what was covered in the CCA this season. That is crazy.
Woof. That's a lot of streaming. And of course, I mean, we could have not done this by ourselves. A lot of this work and effort has been greatly been influenced by so many people who have been involved with this project this entire season. And we must give a huge thank you to so many people involved this season, because this season was one of a kind, and this could have not been done without all the wonderful people that helped us create this season the way that it is.
Certainly. I mean, we'll start with just the producer since we're talking about streaming. From Falco to Vapor to Neptune to Jorian, all 4 of those have been a massive help in covering 83 matches this season, which is, in my humble opinion here, unprecedented in the Splatoon community. When have we ever received, coverage like that? I mean, I feel like Falco covered 83 matches by himself in Ludi, which is insane. At least we were able to split that work up a little bit.
Right, exactly. And of course, those streams wouldn't be supported without the amazing commentators that we have had, both from supplied from the CCA and from Splatoon tourneys streams. We cannot thank you enough for the dozens of commentators we have worked with in this season and helped bring these games to life.
Absolutely. And on top of that, the stats team is another group that I want to be able to shout out here. They have been putting in every single match played this season into the sheet that you will find in the chat right now. That it was a team of like 15 of us that were on top of that. And a very special shout out to Hoken from the Night Sharks at the University of Central Florida for designing the sheet this season. Took the cute little sheet that I had and exploded it into every possible stat that you can think of. It's absolutely crazy what that guy was able to pull off for us.
Agreed. I think all the credit is due to Hoken for the stat sheet and for all the work and effort that has been put into creating a presentation that is beyond stats, truly. We hope that this project will help elevate the broader Splatoon competitive community into bringing statistics to the forefront as a metric of measuring how teams are performing, as well as elevating just overall community standards. So again, the gratitude has to be extended to Hoken from the Night Sharks and to the rest of our wonderful stats team who have contributed to this amazing project this season.
Certainly. And just last, I guess a couple more shout outs here. One to all of our staff for everything that they've done this season. A lot of our new staff members jumped headfirst into this project that they have never, really been a part of it anyway, and took the challenge head on and helped produce a magical season for us here. And then a special shout out to the staff that have stuck with us through the years. And a special shout out to EJ, who's in chat right now, for being the main person for all of these overlays and whatnot as well.
Thank you, EJ. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it on our end. But before we go, I want to also extend a huge gratitude. DRF did this yesterday, so screw you. Thank you, DRF, for being the best co-head TO ever. Working with you this season has been wonderful, and I can't wait to do it again next season. It's been an absolute pleasure that you've been so wonderful to help lead all these crazy projects on, and it's been absolutely wonderful. Let's do it again.
Likewise, Mizuno. Definitely helped keep my sanity in check this season, and could not have imagined to have done this with anyone else by my side on this one. So thank you. And lastly, thank you all who continue to watch us week after week, tournament after tournament, and for all the college students that participate in our season as well. We wouldn't be a community without you all. And we're just going to continue to grow from here and hopefully bring you all a bigger and better league in the fall. Mizuno, any other parting words before we plug ourselves?
I think, again, just thank you to the wonderful players of this community who come back season after season, old and new. We greatly appreciate working with you all, and we hope that sentiment can also be extended to us. We hope to continuously help you build a better scene for you guys to play in and better support for you and your programs at your respective schools. That's a promise I do want to keep. So thank you all. We truly appreciate our players in this scene. Thank you.
We really do. Mizuno, go ahead and plug yourself real quick before we sign off.
Agreed, DRF folks. You can find me on both Twitter and Twitch at MIZU_N0. DRF, how about yourself?
You can go ahead and find me on Twitter at DRF_Splatoon and on Twitch at TritonDRF. But as always, you can find me more often right here on the CCA Twitch channel. With that, the Season 3 comes to an end. Thank you all so much, and we will see you in the fall.